So this is the end result of our Bob's Red Mill gluten-free cornbread. Actually, I really like the way that it looks. It looks rustic and it smells fantastic. You can tell the crust is done by tapping it, or you could also insert a toothpick into the thickest part, and if it comes out clean or with just a little bit of crumb on it, then it's done. I let this cook for a little bit longer than it suggested, only because I'm going to be using it for the stuffing and I want it to be dried out. So I thought it would be okay to let it get a little bit browner from the get-go and give it time to dry out a little bit rather than, waiting for it to dry out after the fact. So as our onions and celery continue to sweat, which I'll show you right over here, we're getting closer and closer to our final product. So there is our celery and onions sweating in the drippings from our spicy Italian pork sausage that we already sauteed up. And while that continues to sweat and soften up, you can see over here I took one apple and I chopped that up into some bigger chunks because we want it to maintain its shape and its form even when it cooks. And then I also did a half a cup of dried cranberries in there just to get a little bit of sweetness up against the flavors of that spicy Italian sausage. So all that's just sitting here and waiting to go. And then when our onions and our celery are done, I'll go ahead and put those in, and then I'll put some tin foil on top just to hold in the moisture, because what we want to do is cut up our cornbread and then add that to the mix and really stir it all up so everything gets well combined. And then we'll stick it back in the oven, and I might add some vegetable stock so that we really get a good bind, and possibly an egg in order to help that binding process for the stuffing, which really just makes it hold together so you get a bite of every little item each time you take a big spoonful. So stay tuned, we're almost done. Happy Thanksgiving!